Welcome to the channel A31 Avo. Today live in Santa Cruz, California for the summer size control pruning of originally a Flavor Queen. A Flavor Queen now multi-grafted with the Flavor King and an APRIUM. The Flavor Queen, it's small, so it resulted in a small bloom, and then it resulted in no fruit set. So right away I went to grafting Flavor King. I have Flavor King in a container, in a 4-in-1 multi-graft container. 4-in-1 PLUOTs in the container, but then I want a Flavor King and ground, and my way to connect it into the ground is to multi-graft it into this Flavor Queen. All right, but now it's time to clean it up. First I'll show you the grafts. Again, it was originally, there's 4 limbs parallel. I want to say I lost the strongest one, so that was like a little bit of a setback, but I was running this parallel to the fence, and then definitely wanted to come out this way. But yeah, it was fanned out. It was fanned out almost like 4 limbs on a straight edge. And I try to always pair a tree. I always try to pair the space with the best shaping tree that'll match that particular space. And then I still continue to shape. So yeah, you could be the master of the tree. All right, here we go. First, the grafts, I'll show you. Cleft grafts, I want to say they were cleft grafts. There's one right here. One right here, and gamoses. I see more gamoses with apricots and apriums. But yeah, check out the difference in pattern and leaves. David, hi, what's up? Check it out. We're gonna summer size control prune this multi-graft PLUOT. There's PLUOTs on here, and then an APRIUM. Again, if you're not familiar with PLUOTs and APRIUM, a PLUOT is a plum and apricot hybrid. With the phenotypes displayed is gonna be the smooth skin. So it's gonna, and then it's gonna grow, if it grows like a plum. So check out the difference in pattern and leaf. See, APRIUM. Look at right away. The tree will tell the story. So the phenotypes displayed and probably the dominant genes are apricots in this specific PLUOT and apricot hybrid. And then over here is the APRIUM. So that's a change in canopy. Saludos from Hollister. My PLUOT trees love the weather over here. For sure. Yeah, PLUOT's refund, bro. They're the new thing. I know they're already being plugged into Mexico. So, again, I like PLUOTs for sure. All right, so let's clean this up. This is an APRIUM graft on a Flavor Queen tree. And let me show you the two good Flavor King grafts. Okay, it's pollinator. All right, again, Flavor King is a PLUOT. And here we're good right here on a cleft graft. Look at. And then look at the shoot. So see, I left them on these buds, but these buds didn't express. So it ran back and died. And then this shoot took over. So I'm good with the Flavor King on this one. All right. And then this major axis, this bigger one on top of it next to it, is Flavor Queen. It's the host tree still. Host tree. Again, I mentioned I was running it flat parallel to the fence. All right. So a lot of this is coming back. And then the other one Let me show you the other flavored king. Good graft right there. But it has a lot of competition. But yeah, check it out. It died back as well. But I'm good with that shoot right here. Take a look. You see? That one right here. So again, the shape of it, I'll probably set back up. I'll set back the flavor queen significantly on that axis, favoring those two flavor king grafts. And I'll probably make a half flavor king. Half flavor king is going to shoot out over there. Over here, half flavor queen. And then my APRIUM coming this way. So it'll be like a little triangle of fruits. All right. Again, open center. Open center right there. And things are coming back. Let's go. Again, disinfected. This right now I'm bringing back, checking anything incorrect on the flavor queen. So we're pruning back the host tree. So again, inward. Inward vertical. It's too strong. You don't want your growth to go up, okay? So prune right there at the collar. Thinning. Thinning to eliminate. And there's an ant right on the blade. Let me let it walk through. All right. So outward swooping, and even then on this limb, look for the outward facing bud, which I have one here. I can continue to come up, but again, the idea is to keep it short. So it'll be right there, looking at you, and the leaf will tell you too. All right, pull the leaf and you'll see. So it's coming this way, and that's where I'm pruning. And that's a heading cut. And that's a heading cut because it'll result in reshooting. All right? I know it'll fork out like at least twice. But again, come back as much as 60%. In theory, 60%. But if you want to play it safe, go 50. Again, pruning all the dominant ones right now. Right there. Right there. Outward facing. And keep playing with it. Keep playing with it. Nothing's final. You could come back and revise. You have to the end of summer. But now you're trying to get growth going in the right direction and keeping it low. So summer size control pruning. And sometimes you're gonna, so normally it's outward swooping. But that one's weaker in comparison to this one. And this one's not a bad angle. So you normally sometimes go upward swooping, but I'm liking this one too. And I'll set it back pretty significantly. So I'll just You see? So I'm taming it. I want production, I don't want growth. I want thicker branches. So if last year's cut right there, leaving it on this year's growth. And pruning. Again, inward vertical. It's going inward, and on that limb it would be the vertical growth. This one intersecting, overlapping. It's doing everything wrong. Thinning at the base, at the collar. Eliminate. This one too. Inward growth. At the base, at the collar. Thinning cuts. Eliminating it. Opening it up. Okay, you want open center. Open center, you want the limbs to be out of each other's way, not intersecting. Okay, so open it up. Right here, inward growth to the shoot. All right, and I'm coming back from the fence. Away from the fence. Inward growth, overlapping. I just have to get to the intersecting. It's doing everything wrong. These ones running into the neighbor. And inward growth. Leave little wimpy ones, alright? You don't want to overexpose your tree, especially it's still summer. But just the ones that are in severe violation have to go. Inward growth, vertical. And then this third, heading towards the fence, thinning. And again, I don't want anything going towards the fence. This whole axis is going towards the fence. We'll see, I might leave it for a little production, but overall. I wanted to fan out that way. On that on that axis right here, we're favoring the Flavor King. So a lot of it's coming off. Again, favoring the graft. That's all we're leaving, the graft. Alright, check it out. This is where we're at. We're coming around, alright? But right here I can tell this one intersecting. Over here is also a graft. So this is a graft shoot. Check it out. And it tapes the union. This is a graft shoot, a Flavor King. Again, Flavor King on Flavor Queen. And then this is a stronger one. So let me check. Yeah, I'm off like the, let's count. So see, there's one main shoot off the trunk, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on the 4th, and there's a 5th. So there's 5. The main scaffolding is 5 branches off the central trunk. All right. Right here, favoring the graft. Joe, good morning. But yeah, check it out. We need it's kind of in a weird position, but it's on the 4th main axis. It's on the 4th main branch. And I need to set back the Flavor Queen pretty significantly, again, to favor the Flavor King graft. So the 4th axis, because the Flavor King is piggybacking off the 4th axis, I need to trim back the 4th axis pretty significantly to favor the Flavor King. But I also needed to continue to draw. It needs to stay even with the other 4 main limbs to continue to draw vigor. So it's kind of be a little Just a little. So I'm just gonna properly shape. Go with all the right angles. This right here running towards the fence. Where am I at? All right. And this is inward vertical, so it's pretty strong. And then just trim everything. Right here, this was running towards the fence. So again, I'm running everything parallel towards the fence, leaving the buds facing this way. All right. So Flavor King and Flavor King on the Flavor Queen, and we're still coming around. This is the last. This is the 5th axis of the trunk. And this is where we'll find the APRIUM. So let's start by cleaning it up. Inward, vertical, overlapping. Right there, outward facing bud. Okay, so check it out. This is a beautiful shape. Look, this is what I really like to do. Outward swooping, and it literally is a swoop. All right. Check out that limb. You see? Last year's cut. You see that? Last year's cut, New Year's growth, and then again I come back as low as possible on this New Year's growth, but leave it properly shaped, outward facing bud again, so it continues to open up from the center, so it's going to come out again. So the swoop on this limb next year is going to be even ooh, shoo, shoo, smooth. All right, keep going. And let me just clean this up. I always like to leave a fork or two, but I'm cleaning it up because I want to favor the graft. Look, the graft's right there. So look, check this out. All this right here, it's gotta go. Now I'm just gonna lightly pinch the grafts. I'm only gonna lightly pinch them so that they get a head start. They'll start growing, but they thicken up. But I'll check them back at the end of summer. But right now I want to give them a head start over what's everything's been severely or harder pruned. I'm only gonna give the grafts a light pinch to thicken it up, the limbs. But at the end of summer, I'll do a revised prune it, probably check them back as much as the neighboring branches. All right, let me disinfect though. And that'll be the last thing. Let me pan out, take a look. All right, only again, just slightly. Again, this is I'll make revisions then, but this is just slightly pinching to thicken them up, but I'm not gonna set them back significantly. It's just a light pinch. So they thicken up. But again, I'm giving them apical dominance. I'm giving them height. I'm giving them height over the neighboring host tree limbs. All right, now disinfecting for the flavor king, I'm sorry. And again, just a slight pinch. Like just less than 25%. Again, giving them height for now, just so they thicken up. I'll revise it and check them back at the end of summer, and maybe even cut back on the host limb on the 4th axis right there, cut back significantly on the flavor queen so that it's just the 2 flavor kings. All right, thank you very much. Have a good one. Peace.